You with that kickback podcast? Yeah. You on that kickback podcast? The kickback. You with that kickback podcast? The kickback. You on that kickback podcast? The kickback. You with that kickback podcast? The kickback. Now sit back and relax. Now sit back.
And we're back. This is your boy Chris Lee, and this is another episode of the Kickback Universe. I do have the Kickback podcast as well. Me and Mr. Allen were speaking about this beforehand. There's a dozen people with the same name. So from now on, I'm just going to consider it's the podcast, but Kickback Universe. So if y'all want to find any of my content, make sure you go to my Facebook page, the Kickback Universe, to find me there for all of my content. Now, I have two special guests with me today. I have my brother here, Mr. Mark. Mark, introduce yourself.
Mark Rob, 202 to the 910. Let's go.
Yeah, no, that's right. And I got Mr. Allen with me here as well. Allen, introduce yourself.
Yeah, Alan Jones, I just been around for a minute. 203 to 919. I can't be as flashy as your boy Mark, man. But it's
Yeah. So we got two city cats, both guys from upstate, one from Connecticut and one from DC. So I'm just a little country boy in the mix, man. So what we were talking about, man, I think this conversation is a conversation that's almost been like an elephant in the room. I guess the older you become, the more you start to look back at hip hop and kind of like, I got one. What's up, bro? Can you hear us?
What's going on? Yes, sir. What's going on?
Not much, man. We introducing ourselves, man. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man. Let the people know who you are.
Yeah, I'm Big R. The Kruger. Don't let me catch you sleeping. No, that's all I got to say.
Word.
Well, I just had to giggle, man, because I got a little tongue tied myself. So Mark came in here all flashy and had it all down. So then I'm sitting here like, wait a minute, hold on.
Oh yeah, that's Mark for you now. Mark definitely got the one-liners, man. So what we talk. All right. So what
we got in here so far?
Okay. Well, obviously you got me. I got Mark, and then I got Mr. Allen here. Allen, this is another one of my brothers here. So we pretty much. Hold on one second. Let me add this brother in here. Got one more person I'm trying to add in. He's trying to get added in. I Am Legend here, trying to get him going.
Yeah.
Okay, I think he's. Let me see here.
Got him, man.
There we go. I Am Legend. What's up? Introduce yourself.
What's going on? I Am Legend here.
What up? All right, so, not much, man. I think Mark was he had a call going on. So Mark is at work, by the way, guys. So if you hear him go in and out, that's because he's currently at work. So just keep that in mind. So Mark is already caught up to speed on what we're talking about. I think this is Mark chiming back in. Yep, this is him chiming back in. Yep, we get him back in here. All right, Mark, can you hear us?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So for the ones that just entered, we're talking about hip hop, man. So we all grew up on it. We all connoisseurs, if you will, in hip hop, very well versed in it. We love it. It's part of our DNA, what make us who we are today. But it comes as this stage where it seems as if we're outgrowing the hip hop, not as far as the music, but as far as the premise. Hip hop started on a premise to where it was about self-awareness, self-expression, individuality, self-worth, being proud to be Black, being proud to be African American, and pretty much giving our insight on our day-to-day life. You have even start from Curtis Blow, from These Are the Breaks, to even when you have NWA explaining about their point of view from where they're from, and then Nas, and everybody's telling you almost like a reporter how life is in the hood, how life is where they're from, giving the fans an insight on what it is. And that's what hip hop kind of was. It's just broadcasting who we are. Hip hop has made a change and turn over time, though. It go from being the observer of what's going on to the participator of the crimes and everything that's taking place, to glorifying the acts of. You go from the mid 2000s to the dope boys, the trap music and all that, if you will. You go from trap music, then you find yourself to the addicts. Now you go from a trapper to now the addict. Now you the customer. Now you the one that's you own Oxycontin and your Percocets and everything else, and now you're an addict. So hip hop has really kind of flipped itself on its head in a sense, and it's not controlled by us. It's controlled by names we should not say because I ain't trying to be canceled before I make it. But we know the people who are making money off the backs of our artists. What brings up this conversation is when I see T.I. and 50 go at it. These guys are well within their 50s. Having beef to that magnitude is just pointless. And it comes to mind to where somebody mentioned 50 only go after artists that other black men that tear them down and tearing them down within our own community. And it's not just 50 though. So if you think about hip hop is all about who's the best, right? But it comes with a price. Do I have to step on this person and destroy their character to be the best? Do I have to literally destroy somebody I could be making money with? There's no other form of music where that is going on but hip hop, where it's a gladiator style. Are you not entertained scenario where we are battling amongst each other for the gain of those who are in control? I'm gonna open up the floor and let whoever may be take up the first rank and explain what they think. Maybe I'm wrong, or maybe you chime in. Just let me know what you think.
Well, the thing with 50 is I believe that he's had these issues with people for a long time for whatever reason. Him being out of New York, and then that Atlanta kind of taking over for a while there. I think he's just got beef with people, and now he sits in his sort of like your boy Trump does. He kind of sits back and takes jabs at people when he can, because it seems like people come to him with a lot of information at times. He digs up some stuff. I don't know how he does it, but I think he just takes jabs at people, and he trolls them, try to get them out there so that he can whip up on them a little bit. Hip hop it ain't hip hop no more. I noticed that a lot of cats are coming back out, like the Cool G Raps of the world are making a comeback, or at least putting information out there or putting product out there for people to bite on, because I think he sees a weakness in the game right now. And there's somebody else that came out recently too. But yeah, the game is turned whack, man. And what are you gonna do? Sometimes you got the beat, but you don't have the product.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Anybody else want to chime in on that?
I was having this discussion earlier, and I get where we're going with rap itself, but I don't know if I can fairly say that that's a hip hop problem if we're only talking about rap. Yeah, we have some issues with our rappers and their content and the beef they having personally and that kind of stuff. But if I'm honest, hip hop wise, I still see advancement in it.
Okay.
Dancing, I see that. I see poetry. I see all of that ish. So the expression is still out there. I don't think hip hop is dying.
Right.
What we're complaining about is rap, and that is a problem. So
Mm,
that's my thing. I don't know if I can fairly say that that's hip hop.
mm,
That's a problem.
Okay.
okay.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm a kind of add on to that. Um, if you want to find, there's every kind of hip hop out there. There's Spanish, there's Mexican, there's Chinese, there's every type of hip hop that you want. There's negative, there's conscious, there's ass shaking, there's uplifting. There's every spectrum of hip hop that you can think of is out there. And it's just a preference on what you want. Now, far as the T.I. and 50 thing, I think as grown men, we need to call it how we see it. That shit is whack. And we need to be saying that shit is whack.
Agree.
That's
I agree.
when you um when you hang around men that are um responsible, that are um uplifted, you know you can't be around those men unless you're that way.
Right.
So that's what we have to put out there. Like that shit is whack. 50, that shit is whack.
Yeah.
You whack for that. And we
Right.
shouldn't be supporting it.
I agree.
And I'm sure we don't.
I agree. I think when we welcome back, Iron
Where you
Legend.
out on it, Chris?
Um, how I feel like is I can't isolate the two though. And what I mean is I do want to make it clear what I'm saying. The culture behind it, I'm not necessarily deeming as the problem. As you said, the culture is the dancing, the graffiti, the poetry, all of that. I'm not deeming that, right? What I'm talking about as the industry itself, right? So
Hell
what
yeah.
I mean is in industry. Let me know, guys, if y'all can still hear me. It's the industry is what I'm speaking on. And with the industry being a problem, it's being fueled by powers that be that creates rifts between us. If you understand what I'm saying. So yeah. So what I'm saying is you do have other artists that out there that do show promise in hip hop. Like you do have the J. Cole's, you do have the Kendrick Lamar's of the world, you do have the D1 and all these other artists who are advocating you more of the positive side. I get that. I'm not deeming everybody in general, but for example, J. Cole's a perfect example. Remember when he tried to go back at Kendrick Lamar, but then mid swing, he realized, you know what? This ain't me, man. I ain't feeling this. And he
Uh-huh.
apologized. And when he apologized, a lot of us as hip hop fans or hip hop connoisseurs, we burnt that man to the cross. Like, hey man, this ain't hip hop. This ain't what hip hop is. This ain't the art of hip hop.
I
So
think those were immature minds.
yeah,
Cause I kind of applauded him for being a man.
right, right, right. And that's what I said. Now, don't get me wrong, now, guys. Initially, I kind of, I guess it was the fan in me wanted to see who was the better between them two. But as I start going through time and just start really just growing myself, I realized, you know what, and just seeing how the battle played out between Kendrick and Drake, I realized, yeah, Cole did do the right thing. It wasn't about him being scared or anything of the sort. It's just, is it worth losing a brother? Is this race to being the best worth losing a friend and a person I call a comrade? Is it worth it? Right? Because
Hmm.
at the end of the day, I'm still J. Cole. I'm still going to be revered as the greatest in some people's eyes. So does it matter? And I think that's why I use the gladiator analogy is when are we not entertained? Mona said his name was Atreides. I can't remember his name, but when he killed his partner like that, and it was like, yo, like he didn't want to do it, but everybody's entertained. That's what it is. It's like outside in, they looking at us like gladiators, and they want us to tear each other down just to say, okay, this fan base get the bragging rights to saying that they artist is the best, right? But for what gain, right? For what gain? So that's why I said I
Where
don't. Go ahead.
where do you think that came from? Because these iconic battles, um, you think of KRS One and MC Shan.
Right.
They went on after that iconic battle. They went on tour with each other for years to come. They
Yeah,
did Sprite commercials. They made money together. You know what I mean?
exactly.
So
Yeah,
where did this idea of I have to annihilate you, where you don't make no money for yourself or your family?
I
Where
think
did
that
that idea come from?
the powers that be. You feel me? Like it comes from the people that's in control of these labels. You see what I'm saying? And if you think about it, if you look at these artists, right? A lot of them are quote unquote indie, but they still have the same publish and the same distribution. So they still under the
Yes.
same roof. So
Yep.
this company own most of these artists' masters. So
Yep.
if if let's say if sales are down, right, or let's say if the stock is down, they use that same
Mm.
mentality they use as they use with war propaganda, right? So, for example,
Mm-hmm.
ammunition is stock. People may not know this, but there's stock in ammunition. If the stock is down, time for us to cook up a war to get this up. Same scenario when it comes to music. If the stock in music is down, we got to create some sort of storyline. And
Yeah.
a lot of these beats are manufactured between the labels. Like, look, we're gonna set a stage. We can have you go after this person go after you. These are the things you stay away from. But I want you to cook up this beef like it's real beef. So guess what? Drake is out here dissing Kendrick. Kendrick's out here dissing Drake. So when Drake drop a new project, guess what's gonna happen? More people gonna chime into that project because they want to know what he's saying about Kendrick. Hence, the sales go up. Hence, powers that be, they sales go up, and so it's the stock. So that's what they do.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
which is why I said the gladiator mindset. They're pitting us against each other. Don't get me wrong. A lot of these guys might have real beefs, or a lot of these guys might want to see who has the best pen. But I feel like this: you can see who has the better pen without tearing down a person's character. To me, that
Right.
just shows the lack of skill. Because even with
Well,
back in the days with KRS and MC Shan, yeah, they dissed each other, but he ain't come. Oh, I'm a hang Shan mom by the over the rooftop, nothing like that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it, yeah.
And
So
and even with that, their beef, they still were able to make money independently and together. Even the Nas and Jay Z beef, they
right,
still had careers after the beef.
right,
Right.
And it's like, and this is just my view. With 50, he wants to end your career to where you make no more money ever again.
right,
I
right.
think he's bored. He just doesn't have a whole lot to do, and he just goes for it, man. All out negativity.
I agree. I agree.
You know.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's sad though, but I mean, I can't put it on 50's back either though. You know what I mean? It's not just 50. You got these little YNs out here that literally catch bodies and get on wax and brag about it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah, yeah,
So you know what I mean. So I just feel like it's so much money that could be made together. If you think about it like this, so many other art forms where you have artists that band together and make great projects. I hate to say this, and I know it's gonna sound corny when I use this analogy, but We Are the World. Remember that track back in the days in the 80s, We Are the World?
Yeah.
yeah,
And you
yeah,
had every major artist from every different genre of music. Don't matter if you was black, don't matter if you was white, don't matter who you were. If you was somebody, you was in that room, right? And that was and everybody and I watched the documentary on it, man. And I know, and if y'all haven't watched it, please check it out. It's so insightful. But
uh huh,
you see everybody who within their own right are legends. I'm talking about are like gods in their own right. Bob Dylan, Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson. You've had Sheila E. up there. You had all these other people. I forgot his name. I want to say hello. I forgot his name. But yeah, all
Lionel
these
Richie.
Lionel Richie. So you had all these great artists that was under one roof, and egos. What it wasn't an ego thing. It was like, look, bro, I know I'm great. I know you great. Let's get this money. Let's do something for a greater good. And it was just like seeing the Avengers before the Avengers, right? But when it comes to hip hop, it's unheard of. You don't see that. You don't see all these artists band together. Like, yo, let's make a mixtape together. Let's do a project. Let's do this. You don't see that. And because the art style is not designed for that, it is designed for, in order for you to be revered as least in the conversation, you have to go after somebody. So it takes away the brotherhood. The way, if it would have been, the only time you do get a brotherhood if you, like, say you came into the game together under the same label, right? And that's the only form of brotherhood you would get, because you're under the same umbrella. So therefore you're bond by that. Or let's say you was a group, like you came out together as a group, you know what I mean? So outside of that, it's everybody's, it's like a battle royale. It's like a
But you don't remember self-destruction?
I don't. I'll be educate me on that one. Okay, so carrots.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Self-destruction.
you don't remember
Self-destruction.
Okay, I remember that.
yeah, you don't remember we all in the same gang?
Yeah.
With all the West Coast artists?
Yep.
Self-destruction was basically all the East Coast artists. We've had it, but as a black people, we've lost control of hip hop. Because remember, at one point, they didn't really want nothing to do with hip hop because it wasn't really making that money like that.
No, it
You
wasn't.
didn't have no platinum artists
Right.
with hip
I don't
hop.
think it's because it wasn't getting recognized. It was guys out there that were doing damage, but I don't think hip hop industry wasn't taking it serious and even tracking it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
We've lost control of it because of the money. And we've just given it up. Instead of us controlling it, we gave up that control because they told us you can't get distribution without us.
Right.
That's true. But that's true though. But in a sense, we could have been got control back though. You know, I think you have a lot of millionaires that came out of this art form, to where a platform or a distribution we could have built our own outside of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I feel, again, there's no excuse in that behalf. I do feel though it's a situation to where it's like a long dog leash, right? It's
But
like,
you know what that's like?
what's that?
That's like you telling a fat person they could have gave somebody else some food.
Yeah.
What it's like is everybody talks about
That boy hell. Now I'm gonna have all the big people come and try to choke me out. What you say? My mama said I'm big boned.
Cold-blooded.
Go ahead, Alan. What you had to say on that?
it's
I
like,
was just saying, like
Oh no,
you.
I think Alan was going to chime in. I think
Oh, okay,
I
go
cut him
ahead,
off.
Alan.
I'm sorry, Alan. I didn't cut you off.
yeah, with me, it's like everybody talks about Tuskegee, but there was like at least probably 25 Tuskegees.
Okay.
Right? So that
Mm-hmm.
was control. Okay, that was control. You
Mm-hmm.
had control. But
Okay.
when Martin decided that integration was the thing, now you killed it all.
Oh, okay.
Now you killed it all. You dig? And
took away our power.
And so now when you had hip hop, nobody was really that interested in it as far as from the business side of it. They didn't understand
Mm-hmm.
it. Though black people were with it. So that was the time to be independent and have your distribution. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Puffy, when I was up north, Puffy had Bad Boy. He had his office, and you could go directly to Bad Boy and pick up your music. He had the mixtapes popping, and that's how he was able to get Biggie and some of them artists out there on the street. It wasn't being played on the radio; it was being played in your house because you went down to Bad Boy and got your shit. You dig? So that could have grown even more. You didn't need the label, but people started getting that fast money, especially when they're getting them distribution deals and getting that upfront money. And I think at that, that's the point where you sold out and you killed yourself.
Okay.
Anybody know James Brown's story?
A little bit.
You talk about his contract?
Yeah, just about his career and what he went through with the record companies and stuff.
No, not in depth. No.
Take a look at his story. You
Okay.
you this his story in hip hop is pretty much the same.
Okay. Okay.
That's where the breakbeat come from.
Right.
James Brown.
Uh well, you know, well, you know, I feel like
Damn.
I feel like it when it comes to I feel like hip hop became so and Mark already knows sometimes I get a little too deep down a rabbit hole here. So I do apologize in advance, people. Um I believe hip hop has became the how about this? Everybody seen NASCAR, right? We all seen NASCAR.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
when you see a NASCAR, when you see just one, right? You see so many sponsors on that, just that one car alone, right? You got all these different sponsors that pay for that vehicle, stickers everywhere. And that's kind of what hip hop is. Hip hop is just a vehicle for commercialism for everything outside of hip hop.
Right.
Gucci, Fendi, Prada,
Hmm.
high dollar brands, Cavassier, vodka,
Pushing
Crown
labels.
Royal. You see what I'm saying? So hip
Yeah.
hop is only
Mm.
a NASCAR, and it's not about who's driving it. It's about okay, do you have my are you do you have my stick on your vehicle? And it lost its art form because it became a commercial within a commercial.
Right.
So hip hop is basically that ad when you're watching your favorite YouTube video and the ad comes in, and that's what hip hop became. So they felt like when hip hop was in its infancy, it was all pro black. Nobody want to hear about that, right? But then when it became national, like nationwide, right? It became on the West Coast and then Midwest, and they starting to see the commercialism out of that, and they starting to see okay, this is gonna be something when you got kids in Japan, when you got kids in Asia, in Africa, in Jamaica, and Hades, and all over these different places that are rocking to this now. Now, rock and roll was large, but rock and roll did not have no home in Japan and in Asia. You feel what I'm saying? But when
Hmm.
you got music like hip hop that is captivating the world, that's when the powers that be say, you know what? We can put our commercialism in this form. And if we can give the script to the artists, because these artists here are not of them like a lot of them are not business savvy. When you think
No.
about every other art form like country and rock, believe it or not, them brothers are very business savvy, and they know about their money. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody getting over on Kiss. Ain't nobody getting over on Def Leppard or Judas Priest. They ain't getting over on those guys. They know about their money. They know about how the money works. But when it comes to us coming from the environments we coming from, hey, any dollar more than what I make at minimum wage is something that gets my ears up, and I ain't got to be in the streets hustling for it. So if you're gonna give me $1 million up front, I'm gonna take that like, oh, mama, we getting out the hood. Never mind what I got to sign to get it, right? So, but in return of it, they say, look, when you promote your music, make sure you promote Cavassier. When you go back and listen to that song Cavassier with was Diddy and Flipmo Squad, all of them passed to Cavassier and for real, that was a
Yeah.
commercial. That was a commercial. And as a kid,
Yeah.
I knew what the hell Cavassier was, but I knew the hook. But the thing
Mhm.
was, that's what it was, a commercial. Think about it. We need for sneakers. You talking about forces. You know what I mean? So now forces stocks going up. You see what I'm saying? So we became literally the catalyst for every other brand out there. But what that brand give us in return? They gave us nothing. They gave us nothing in return. You see what I'm saying? So what up? What up? So they gave us nothing in return when it comes to I contribute us contributing to their pockets. We made their pockets fat, but these artists are still broke. These artists are still barely getting by. So when I said who
Yeah.
controls it, it's the powers that be. So when stock is down, you go after Mark over there, Chris. You diss Mark because Mark is the biggest artist in the world right now, and you're also the biggest artist in the world. That's like King Kong and Godzilla. Everybody want to see that. So you pit us against each other, and don't let the coast be behind it. Oh my God, that's money involved in this.
Happened to the competition though, bro? Like my bad. I wanted to say like what happened to the competition? Like isn't
Well,
it is that like wouldn't that be a part of competition? Like if you're a rapper, you like how Kendrick Lamar was like, it ain't no big three, it's just big me.
it is a competition to an extent, though. Like what I'll put it this way: competition would be like what LL Cool J Cannabis was, right? Competition would be like what 50 Cent and Kanye West was when they try to who had the highest album sales. There's a difference between competition and clear insult of a clear attack on a person, right? Like we seen what happened with Biggie and Pop, right? We seen what happened with Young Dolph and what's my man that he was beefing with? I forgot his name, but you seen what happened when emotions get involved. You see what I'm saying? Artists, as much as we portray ourselves as hard and gangster and tough, artists are very sensitive about their art. They're very sensitive. So if somebody disagree with them to a extent, you're gonna have to speak out on it. So let somebody talk about your old lady or y'all relationship problems, or talk about your mama or your brother his drug problems or whatever it may be. That might be a soft spot for you.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
cannot account for how a person's going to respond to how you speaking. So if I'm going after you and your character, that's one thing because I'm well prepared for that. I'm well fortified for that. But when it comes to you talking about my baby mama, my wife, my kids, my mama, bro, we got no. This is all like even in street code, that's off the table. Like you see
Not
what I'm
really.
saying?
That's all the war.
Nah, it's not war though. But yeah, so no, it's not war, and that's the problem. Like it's competition and there's war. War means anything goes. Means if I see you in the street, it's up. That's war. That's why the title said, "What's beef?" If I see you out here, but outside of the booth, what's up with all that talking you was talking about? What's up? Let's get busy. That's war. Competition is like, yo, let's see who pens the sharpest. The competition is almost like a cipher, right? We in a cipher, we just see who got the sharpest bars, who got the illest 16s. That's the cipher. That's competition. But when war, to even say that, why am I at war with another black man like me, but the white man running around here still taking off heads, but we at war with each other? That makes no sense here. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, that's respectfully, that is idiotic belief system to where I got to literally destroy another black man for what? To get the money that the white man print out for me for my label to get me another song. Or man, cut that out, bro. Like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Because if me and you really had problems, I ain't putting it on wax because ain't nobody gonna know we had problems. The streets where I come from, you ain't gonna know. You would never know we had problems, but you could be off the map because I want to be able to deny. Oh, what you mean? He's gone? Ray Ray out of here? Oh my God, what happened to Ray Ray? Oh, I just talked to him the other day. Ray Ray gone. You ain't gonna know I got beef with Ray Ray. You feel what I'm saying? But if I get on wax, when I see you, I'm gonna wet you up. You might just be talking, but Ray Ray gonna take that seriously. So when he see you, he's gonna think, oh, he's really trying to get me out of here. So he's gonna pop you. But you was just talking. You was just competition, the art of war. Now you lost your life because you lost your life because you was talking a little too reckless. And guess what happens? The labels got insurance on you. Guess what they do? Reap off that insurance policy. Next, who's next?
And now your numbers go through the roof.
Now your numbers go through. Now all of a sudden you're a fan of Young Joe. What's his name? Young Dolph. Ain't never heard of Young Dolph a day in your life, but now you're a fan now because his music streaming. And guess what that label doing? Sitting back counting money. You see what I'm saying? So when it comes to the art of war, there's never such thing as war between us two as black men and black women. The person we need to be at war with is the one that controls our masters, the ones who control our publishing. Take that back. That's who you need to be at war at. That's the art of war.
Yeah.
I agree to that.
I don't know. That's just how I feel, man. I mean, Pac and Big would have still been here if that mentality didn't exist. You know.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, the brothers would have still been here. They still would have made up, probably would have went on tour, probably would have shot commercials together. Would you understand the power that those two would have had together? They would have just, hey man, let bygones be bygones, man. You know, you said what you said, I said what I said, or we can either rock together or not rock together, but I ain't got no problems no more. We good. You know what I mean? Like imagine Imagine the whole landscape of hip hop would have changed forever if them brothers would still be alive today. But the fact
Yeah.
that they're gone, you know what I mean? It leaves a stain on hip hop. Like, dude, this thing is your life is in jeopardy. I want to get rich to get here. I work all my life to get here to feed my wife and kids and my family and to be revered as one of the greatest or whatever it may be because I want to be famous. But when I get there, I may possibly lose my life because I found myself entangled with a beef. I might as well enlist in the military at that point.
Yeah, I don't know if they could have cleared that up. You remember, Pac still hit Faith, man. So that might
I,
have.
I mean, it's that he still hit Faith, but it could have been a situation where, look, all right, look, I ain't got no smoke with you, got no smoke with me. Let's strap it up. Woo, woo. Me and you gonna, whatever. But at the end of the day, I mean, Faith had to lay down with him. I mean, he ain't kidnapped Faith. Faith did a whole song with the boy after that. So I mean, if anybody be mad at Faith.
Yeah.
You know,
Let me ask you a question, man. Is is the problem really hip hop or rap, or is it really us that's the problem? Because really, if they don't, whatever song they make or whatever they put out there, if we don't support it, it does nothing for them or whatever industry they come from or whatever. But as soon as we support it, it does everything. So, in in hindsight, is it really us? Is us the problem?
I believe so.
Hell
I'm a
yeah.
I believe so. I believe it's like reality TV. I don't know how many of y'all have old ladies right now that watch Love and Hip Hop, right? That watch all this trash TV, and they watch it because of the drama. The drama's why they watch it. And I don't know about y'all, but I sit and try to watch Love and Hip Hop with my wife. You know, just try to bond, try to have some couple time, right? And every episode is the same episode. I heard you was talking about me, and I wanted to meet with you. And next thing you know, an argument starts. Somebody throwing water on somebody. Now the security's breaking them up. Next episode, same scenario. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things where it's people gravitate towards drama. That's just how we condition as Americans. We
I
gravitate
I
towards
don't
drama.
know, man. I don't know nobody's
I,
life that's like loving hip hop.
It's not. But what I'm saying, that's the point. Life itself is not as exciting as this stuff, which is why they watch it so much because it's drama. It's dramatic. Like, oh my God, like I want to see what's going
I
on
got
today.
you.
You know what I mean? It's the
Hmm.
theatrics, you know. The same thing like hip hop. It's all theatrics, bro. You know what I'm saying? And just like wrestling and all that good stuff, it's all entertainment. So to answer Mark's question, I mean, we fueled on drama.
Yeah. Get off on other
So I
people's.
watch. Look, my wife don't watch it. I watch it though, but I watch it because I'm a pervert. I like to see nakedness here and there. You know what I mean? So I watch
This
it
thing.
for a whole drama. But I guess I don't know if you could, you include that as drama, but that's what I
Ah,
watch it for.
well,
So
listen,
that when they
listen,
watch it, that's what I watch it
listen.
for. Bump all that arguing and
Hey,
stuff.
hey, listen. If I want to see that, I watch the Bad Girls Club. I get all that. It's all women. The whole cast
I
female. Honey, you know what I mean? But, but
watch that too.
if we're going there, but
I be watching
but nah,
there.
bro.
I think that to say I don't think everybody watch stuff for drama reasons.
Nah, no, you're right. You're right. But the reason why drama is in every episode is because the majority rules, though.
Yeah.
True.
You see
Most
what I'm
definitely.
saying? Like just like wrestling, the Attitude Era, dude. We used to
Yeah.
love. I don't know about y'all, but I was a huge Stone Cold fan. To me, he was like the GOAT. I was Stone Cold was the white Tupac of wrestling. I don't care nobody said. Um, but um, but even back then, when you watch stuff like wrestling, it all starts like a promotion, right? You get the Rock get out there in the ring and to sit on the ring. And The Rock get out there and he start talking smack about Stone Cold. Yeah, when I see that Rudy Pooty, fresh and fruity, I'm gonna put my foot in this sideways. And you see what I'm saying? So the whole time,
Not the
the
Rudy
crowd,
Pooty.
the Rudy Pooty yacht. Now don't act like you remember that. Don't act like y'all don't remember.
I still talking about Rudy Poo, bro. Heck yeah, I remember that.
Boy,
I
the
don't
Rudy
remember
Pooty,
that,
fresh
brother.
and
I'm
fruity.
sorry.
You know
I'm
what I
talking about
mean?
Never
Candy
heard
ass.
that
You
one.
gotta watch this shit now, boy. They fall the
Yeah.
shit out.
Yeah, I ain't lying, but see, back then, when we watched that as kids, as little 9-year-old, 10-year-olds, maybe 20-year-olds, when we watched
Oh
that,
shit!
we was excited, like, oh snap, Rock said something, oh snap,
Yeah, yeah.
and boy, and when you hear that, and when y'all hear that, dun 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 dun,
Yes,
oh
sir.
snap. It's going down.
Man,
It's going down. They about to strap. Stone Cold get out there. Stone Cold get his little mic and he start talking. What? And another thing. What? And I'm gonna kick you so far. And what? You know, so it gets you hyped. And you know, oh my God, they about to strap. And guess what happens? We'll settle this in WrestleMania 25. Like, oh my God. I thought you was gonna fight tonight. But the moral of the story is it builds up drama in anticipation. So when the actual pay-per-view take place, everybody, mama, please, mama, please don't get this, mama, because I want to see Stone Cold Rock, please, mama. So that builds up anticipation. Same thing with hip-hop. When you have the artists that bicker against each other, it builds up anticipation. Mark know firsthand when it comes to battle rap. Battle rap stole that whole identity. They had the little table, the round table. Hey, well, I'm gonna see you here, and they start the little fake little fight, and then you know, oh my God, this battle about to be crazy. You know what I mean? That's all it is. You selling drama because you know drama is what captivates people,
All right.
yeah.
and that's what I'm saying. Even is say what now?
I said, so it is the people that they gullible towards drama and they gravitate towards it instead of trying to elevate each other.
Well, yeah,
So now,
yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree.
so yeah, I believe it is us.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of I can't put all it on us because we didn't ask for it because we didn't know it exists until they put it in front of us. So I
So
think it's not all us.
is
No,
some
I mean we
drama
do set the standard
actually
though.
necessary?
You said what now?
Now I said we do set the standard though. You know
I
what I'm
feel you
saying? We
though.
set the standard, so it got to be up to us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
So you think we gotta cut all drama out, or you
No,
think some drama is necessary?
Cut it off.
no, I can't say cut it all out because it's inhuman.
All right.
Ah,
You
all
see
right.
what I'm
That,
saying?
that's
Like,
Yeah.
adult drama.
yeah,
Drug. I
like
think
it's
the drug
inhuman.
game infested the game. Period.
Exactly.
And
You
the
know what I mean?
streets made
Gotcha.
Like,
it music.
yes, like drama is going to exist. Like, how many of y'all been to a family reunion or a Thanksgiving dinner and something got abrupted ended because you got a cousin that got drunk, start talking about back in the days when he wasn't treated unfairly, and you got oh man, Mark out acting crazy again. He drunk again. Oh my God, he talking about that time in '94 when you left him at Walmart and you ain't come back. You know what I mean? So
Uh,
it becomes like it's natural. It's natural, but just don't glorify it. Is all I'm saying.
no, that's my
No, them
point.
the cousins that you
Like,
don't invite.
Well, that's true, but sometimes things just happen, bro. Sometimes you like, hey man, I ain't seen them in forever. You get together, y'all talk a few hours, get a little drink in you, a little alcohol in you. Next thing you know, hey, skeletons start coming out. You know what I mean? But then,
Hmm
if you keep cutting family off, like at some point, something got to get resolved or buried or what. But it's just the same thing in music. I think it's natural to have competition in hip hop. It's natural. I'm not saying take away the essence of it, but you got to understand what is competition and what is completely off the table.
there's nothing off the table in
Hip
hip
hop
hop.
was
No,
based
but see,
on
that's the
competition.
problem, though. That's the problem. Nothing
You-
is off the table in hip hop, which is why so many young men and women fall in hip hop because nothing off the table. So many
But
lives is
what about
lost.
the people that fell before they got on top? because a lot of people that actually made it to the top was due to somebody else's demise. So somebody actually either got hurt, somebody died, somebody family, something happened. Because all of these gangster niggas, you mean to tell me that they didn't put in no work in the streets? So a lot of them put in work in the streets just to get solidified and just for niggas to know who, just to even have a name to
Right.
even rap.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Well, see,
think
that's
about
two different. Go ahead.
think about how many people 50 killed before he even got shot. Or think about how many, you know what I'm saying? Like think about how much shit happened that he had to endure or would he impose pain on somebody else and their
Hmm.
family just to get to where he at.
But
So
see,
it's same thing, vice versa. So we can't cry when the shit happens to them. When the rabbit got the gun, we can't be crying. We just gotta allow it. Just like May said, ain't nobody tricking you out your spot. You supposed to go to jail. You supposed to die. That's what comes behind being a street nigga. Them the only two outs, right? Dead or in jail.
right. But here's the difference, though.
So if you
Here's
rapping about it, why do you get a different? Why do you get a different outcome than the people that actually live it?
That's a great point. That's a very great point. But here's the reality to that. I feel like, to me, in my opinion, I think if Rick Ross and I'm gonna say Rick Ross and Jeezy, I'm gonna just use them two as an example. You have an MC and you have a rapper. A MC involves a MC. The definition of MC is just evolving with you're evolving with your surroundings anyway. You evolve. Like Nas, for example. Nas, when he first came on the scene, ain't the Nas you got now. The Jay-Z you got in the first when he first came on the scene, he's not the Jay-Z you got now. So when I say that, a rapper is only gonna rap about what they know sells. Street sells. So they're gonna rap about it because they know it sells. Rick Ross was a correctional officer. I don't care how much dope you sell, you were still a correctional officer. I mean, you still had to clock in 8 to 5. So it's only so much of that story is believable. When you look at some of these artists, it's okay if that's what you're talking about, how you got there, right? Year 1, year 2, this is what I did to get here. Okay, you here now. What else you got? Oh, I sold dope. Okay, I heard that 2 years ago. What else you got? The same thing when you look at the Clips. The Clips had to change their direction on their last album because all you talk about is coke. There's only so much coke you can sell and not get pinched. So the point I'm saying is to you, if you are an artist, then you learn how to evolve and grow. If you are a rapper, you're going to rap about what sells. So those artists you talking about with the rabbit having a gun and all that, those because they are rappers. They're not artists. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So with that being said, that's how
What's
you
the was an
separate the
artist?
two.
Young Dolph was an artist.
No, Young Dolph was a rapper.
Young Dolph was an artist.
Young Dolph was a rapper.
Mm.
So the point of an artist,
Um,
the point of an artist. So here's the thing: you can rap well and be a rapper.
wait,
I'm not.
Tupac,
Hmm? I ain't hear you say again.
Tupac wasn't an artist. No, I'm
Tupac
saying
was an
like
artist.
majority of the people that died.
No,
Yeah,
no,
that's what
no,
I'm saying. So
no.
what?
True. But this, what the point I'm getting at is, let's say Pac. We said Pac, right? Pac had evolved in his music. The point is when Pac died, he died so long ago, his catalog doesn't really have a, how can I put this, a chronological order to see his progression, right? So you hear one song Pac talking about riding on his enemies. The next song talking about change. The next song he's talking about is Heaven Got a Ghetto. The next thing talking about, so he died so long ago, his music is not in chronological order to show his true growth as an individual. But Pac actually did grow. You see what I'm saying? Ghetto gospel. He did grow. He wasn't always that violent guy. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying to you is that's what I mean. Growth. You can come out
But
swinging
did
at the
he
world.
grow or did he? But did he grow or did he just actually know what to rap about what sells?
I
No,
think
I believe
he adjusted based on what he was seeing and what his mind, things used to stick in his mind. I think he would try to talk about it.
right.
Uh, but he was talking about his surroundings, and he grew because he was his first songs when he was with I
The
can't remember.
digital underground.
Yeah, his first songs
Did you
they
underground?
You know,
yeah.
digital underground. I
It was
mean, but
what?
see,
It was what?
uh, Oh no, his first songs were Digital Underground, like when
They were
Pop first came
positive.
out. Yeah,
Yeah, they were
positive.
positive. Right?
They're
So how did he
positive, but
grow? Because he actually digresses. He actually digressed because he came out on a positive note. So
right.
how
But,
did
but
he
here's
grow if he actually
oh,
I'm
that's easy.
listening.
That's easy to answer that. So let's remember, Pac was a young man when all this was going on. Pac didn't even reach 26. We all have to understand that, right? So when you young, it's fair to say we could be very impressionable. Is that fair?
Yes.
Right. So when Pac found himself around the gangsters and don't get me wrong, now I'm not saying Pac was sweet before he got with Death Row, but when he got with Death Row, that's what your surroundings was, right? So
Yeah.
that's what you became. So you became what your surroundings were. Now, don't get me wrong. Pac still had that positivity, and he still was he was still like on some young Malcolm X stuff, but he still had his own demons. The brother was only in his early 20s. Like you couldn't expect so much at that point.
But how did?
But
But I'm trying to figure out how did he grow if he was talking about Brenda had a baby before Death Row. He was talking about all this positive stuff way before. He had bees on, bro. Like he had bees on with Digital Underground, bro. He was doing a Humpty dance. It wasn't nothing gangster about him. Pac was an actor. He wasn't a rapper. Everybody knew Pac was an actor. He was in
so
acting school with Jada Pinkett. He wasn't a rapper. Biggie, Buster, and all them niggas was in school together.
yeah,
Pac wasn't there. Pac was in performing arts. So he was learning how to be an actor, not a rapper. So that's when he came out. That whole persona of him being gangster was weird because we like, bro, you not even on that type time. Like everybody kind of went for it. He reminded me of 6ix9ine. Like, don't get what I'm saying construed. I'm not comparing him, but I'm talking
I'm
about the
listening,
gimmick of 6ix9ine was the gimmick of Pac. The gimmick of 6ix9ine was the gimmick.
I don't
Pac was a
know.
gimmick. He wasn't what
I don't
Pac
want
was
to.
a
I don't
gimmick,
want to.
bro. I
I
ain't
don't
gonna
want to get
front.
it. I don't want to get in semantics, but the NYC is coming out of you. So no, Pac
What you
wasn't a
mean?
gimmick.
Oh,
No,
I got.
well, you know how New York, you know how y'all be, bro. But Pac, I wouldn't say Pac was a
Nah, we
gimmick
fuck with
again.
Pac. Pac was here. You remember Pac
But
was here.
yeah, he was born there. But yeah, remember, you're still talking about a young man here. We still looking at the lens as 30 plus year old men at a 20-year-old young man. We all know in our 20s, we all trying to find ourselves. I mean, no one is the complete
Yeah, that's
version
what I'm
of
saying.
yourself.
So that's why I
Right,
said, how did he grow? I would say, how
right.
did he grow? Because he went from positive to gangster rap. So I'm like,
Right.
where was the growth? He was stomping people out and all that. Like, he was
So
wild.
when it went from
He was
gangster rap,
immature.
right? So when it went from gangster rap, yeah, as a young adult, you obviously are immature, correct? But what I'm saying is we using Pac as a catalyst on here. So what I'm saying is Pac did start it out, yes, on a positive note. But we're not going to sit here and say Pac was soft. Like Biggie get big pinch for shooting two unarmed officers for beating up a black man? That ain't acting, brother. That
They
was
both
real.
was, bro,
That was
they
real.
both was
That was
soft. Bro. I ain't gonna lie.
no.
I
Okay,
mean, that's our
that's
opinion.
true.
That's another day.
Okay,
That's
that's
another
another
day. I
day.
hopefully,
That's another
I ain't
day. But
fuck with
for a man willing to risk his freedom to save a person he don't know by shooting two men. Now, mind you, he didn't know there was cops. Now, if he knew there was cops, that'd been extra gangster. But he shot two men to save somebody he didn't know, risking his own freedom. Bro, that's gangster. I don't care how you put that together. Even when the whole situation with Biggie and them guns was in his hotel, he took the fall for that. He would have been if he was quote unquote acting, he would have been on first 48 eating wings. Yeah, it was big in him, you know what I mean? So I think we take the fact that somebody went to art school, somebody was just in a third, we take away their credibility as a man, and we can't do that. So we have to understand Pac did
no, I was
grow.
just
He
basing it off my opinion from back
oh
then.
true,
They,
true,
like
true,
what I
true.
heard. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
true.
Like this is before like East Coast, West Coast shit.
Right, true. But even in the midst of that, Pac said himself, he said, "We all good. If I see them, it's good. We all about making money. It's this East Coast West Coast thing they generating." Pac said that. You see what I'm saying? So Pac was very militant as a young man. He was very militant. But the problem is, you got to
Yeah, he
think
was
about it.
very calculated. That's why I said that whole
Yes,
East Coast West Coast shit was a gimmick. It was a
yeah,
gimmick. That's why I
right.
said all that shit was a whole gimmick, bro.
It was, but here's the thing: it wasn't him pioneering that. That's the whole point of this whole entire podcast episode was the powers
But it
that
was
be.
him leading.
It was the power that be that generated that. It was the people over these labels that generate that. You know how much money the labels made off of the West Coast East Coast beef.
Mhm.
You see
Now
what I'm
you're right,
saying?
but
Well,
us as black people never be accountable. We always say it's somebody else's fault.
No,
But
no,
when we
I'm not.
got the power, when
Yeah,
Pac and them had the power, they could have X'd all of them niggas out. Just like Master P and all of them said, they was
but see,
trying to
Pac
do this a
tried
long
though.
time ago.
Pac and Big both did. They
But
both
he
tried.
Nah, they
Big
did.
was
They tried by separating. They didn't come together and try. They tried by trying to get away from the people that they was under instead of
right,
empowering the whole coast. That's my
right,
point. If they would have went
right.
to all the other black Russell Simmons and all of them, no, but they
Yeah,
try to do it on their own. Big tried to own his own shit with Jay-Z and
yeah,
the fucking the commission. They try to do the commission and shit.
yep.
And
I remember
then
that.
fucking Pac was trying to do, you know what I'm saying? Like Pac was trying to
Yeah,
do
you
Death
right.
Row East. Like
You
it's
right.
like
You
why
right.
would y'all try like instead of coming together,
You right.
like you know what I'm saying? That's all I keep saying. Everybody was
Yeah,
doing it for their own personal interest.
yeah,
Nobody was thinking about the culture. And that's why I keep saying as people we won't come together to do shit.
well, I
yeah.
think part of the problem, what you got to realize also, is that these guys were popular. They were making money, but they were getting pimped out too.
That's the
So
point I was
they
making.
wanted
Yeah,
they wanted to do their own thing. It's like shit. If I've learned the game. Some people go into the game and they just play. They just play in it. They don't learn how to be the boss. It's like when you go to college. They teach you everything there is to work for all these individuals, but they don't teach you how to be independent. And that's what
no,
these dudes decided. They saw the money, and they saw they wasn't getting the money, and they saw people like Puffy on the stage dancing behind him, and he ain't doing no work, but he getting all the credit regardless.
right.
So I understand that part, man. They was trying to make their money and be independent from these fools because they created a world and helped a whole bunch of
Yeah, but
people.
then it's like, but if I made you, where's my credit? What do I get out of these shows that you want to do?
Right. Now, are you saying that from like the
You know what I'm
producer's
saying?
standpoint, or
Saying that from the Dre and Puffy perspective.
is that what you're saying? It from like the producer's perspective, like where's their credit? Hello, I think he might have dropped off.
Okay.
Yeah. But no,
Them guys was getting paid, so they
yeah,
already had their
yeah,
credit.
yeah, yeah. They was getting their credit.
Yeah.
But I just personally believe like, and but see that goes along to what I was saying. So if any of y'all ever listen to that J. Cole album that just came out, J. Cole got a song on there called "What If," and "What If" talked about if Big and Pac actually did piece it up, if they did actually, you know, uh,
Get
uh,
together.
yeah, got together, and then it's one of those things that make you think.
Yeah.
So it's to where it's unfortunate how things went down because I'm pretty sure a call would have been made eventually, but everything was just happening, and it was so. Yeah, think about it, even watching that Diddy documentary. Like Diddy was literally like barricading Biggie from any communication with Pop for the most point. So even if there was to be a sit down, you got somebody who's standing in the way of that. But that's
Right.
neither here nor there. The point I'm making is, yes, we do have to be accountable as fans because we fans, we can say, I'm not rocking with that. And if that don't sell, they can move to the next one, right?
Right.
Two, I do believe the artists themselves have responsibility, right? As an artist, you the one that's spitting this out. You can tell the label, nah, I ain't rocking with that. But the problem is they want to get paid. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? The problem is they don't want their album to get shelved, or they don't want to be sitting on the bench riding out their contract. So they're gonna do whatever the industry say does, or the label say does, in order to eat. And that's the problem. And when you put that out there, everybody is responsible. But the person who's the most responsible is the ones who is rapping it or singing it. But the problem is you can say no. And a lot of these artists had said no, and they stepped away from the industry. They stepped away from major contracts and was like, nah, I ain't rocking with this. And they fell off. But as a fan, we see it as, oh man, they trash now. They fell off because that label was trying to put them out and they wasn't with it no more.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, and that goes to when I listened to
Yeah.
the artist named D1. I don't know if y'all heard of him. D1 is one of those artists out there. It's like, yo, bro, like hip hop don't have to be what it is right now. Yo, we can all make money together. We can all eat together. It's
Mm-hmm.
enough money to go around. Like, do you understand how much money will be made if Kendrick Lamar and Drake walked out on stage together? You understand how much money would have been made? You understand that? Like billions of dollars would have generated off that beef, and they would have chopped it up. Or like that moment, I don't know about y'all, but that moment when Jay-Z and Nas walked out on stage together for the first time since the beef, dude, that was monumental for me. That was like, oh my God, that was crazy. So I think the older you get, the more you realize what's really important, which is why they say hip hop is a young man's game, because a young man is easier to as impressionable, right? You can manipulate a young man easier than you do as he get older. Once he get older, he start to look around like, hold up, this ain't right. And that's what Pac started to realize. Biggie started when Big and Pac started to realize, hold up, this ain't right. Boom, lights got cut off. You see what I'm saying? And that's the thing, Pac didn't want to play that game no more. Biggie didn't want to play that game no more. But hey, knowing how outspoken Pac is, man, we want him to get out here and start, So I just think, as hip hop, as fans, yeah, we have accountability to that as well. But I think it's one of those scenarios where is hip hop going to remain in a status where we have no control of our own art, or where somebody eventually say, you know what, let's create our own. There's enough billionaires in the industry to do so.
Right.
But like you said, like I was trying to say earlier, people look at Jay-Z. Jay-Z just a dog with a very long leash. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all. His leash is longer than everybody else's. That's all. But you better believe when they tug, he gonna choke up like everybody else would.
Yeah, he paid for it. That's for sure.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying, bro. Like we really got to really got to understand, like, these artists, they all have leashes, and the longer you in the game, the more money you generate for these labels, the longer they're gonna give you that leash. And if you look at it, Drake made all that money. People look at Drake. Drake's one of the most successful artists in history, but he don't own his masters. Let that marinate.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Ain't gonna let you own that, bro. You can get them back after a while, but yeah, it's gonna be shit. You be 60 years old.
Yeah, by the time you get it, you could be 60 years old and you're gonna die from fentanyl.